अस्सलाम वालेकुम डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आज एपिस्टेमोलॉजी के हवाले से बात करेंगे। पिछले वीडियो में हमने मेटाफिज़िक्स के बारे में बात की थी। आज जो सेकंड ब्रांच है फिलॉसफी का, दैट इज़ एपिस्टेमोलॉजी। तो एपिस्टेमोलॉजी जब हम लिटरली देखते हैं, एपिस्टेमोलॉजी हैज़ बीन डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम टू ग्रीक वर्ड्स, एपिस्टीम एंड लॉजी. Episteme means knowledge and logy means science. Thus, it becomes the science of knowledge. Epistemology literally means science of knowledge. Means philosophically we can say it is the branch of philosophy which deals with origin, nature, sources, validity, and limitations of knowledge. The branch of philosophy which studies the questions, which studies the problems, which tries to answer the problems like what is knowledge, what is the origin of knowledge, what is nature of knowledge, what are the characteristics of knowledge, what is valid knowledge, and what are the limitations of knowledge. That very branch of philosophy is called epistemology. So my dear students, first we will try to find out what is knowledge. Knowledge is the justified truth. Any truth which is justified, the justified belief is called knowledge. Knowledge is what is known. But what is known, that should be justified. That should be a justified truth. That very fact is called knowledge. Famous philosopher Russell defines knowledge, और he says that knowledge is which enlightens human mind. Knowledge वो चीज़ है जो इंसान के जहन को रोशन करे, वही knowledge है. यानी we can say according to this definition, something which removes ignorance, यानी min az-zulumat ila nur, something which carries us from which carries us from darkness to light. Knowledge is which enlightens human mind, जो रोशन करे इंसानी जहन को, वही knowledge है. William James says knowledge is another name of practical achievement and success. Whatever practical achievements we have, whatever pragmatic activities we have, whatever pragmatic actions we have, whatever achievements we do, whatever success we achieve, that is knowledge. वही knowledge है. So we can conclude that knowledge is what is known. Whatever justified belief, whatever justified truth is known, that's knowledge. Knowledge is information. Knowledge is learning. Knowledge is wisdom. Knowledge is power. And knowledge is, when knowledge is power, it means when we have control over our surroundings. And when we have control over our surroundings, we are the adjusted persons of our society. Means it is the knowledge which helps us to achieve the control over our environment. To have control over the environment is knowledge. To have control over our environment is power. Means knowledge gives us power, knowledge gives us wisdom, which gives us control over our environment. Now let's try to see the characteristics of knowledge. What are the various characteristics of knowledge? We will try to find out those. First characteristic feature of knowledge is rational. This is the first characteristic feature of knowledge, that it is reason based. Knowledge is always reason based. Suppose when we see something, it falls on the earth, we give reason. The reason being that earth has gravitational pull, earth has gravitational force, because of which it pulls everything towards itself. This is a reason. Why everything falls on earth? The reason is that earth has gravitational pull. This is the rational, this is the reason. Number two, knowledge is always probationary. Except few forms of knowledge which we call revealed knowledge. Quran, other religious scriptures, those are final, those can never be changed. But except that knowledge, every other knowledge is probationary, means it can be modified. It is never final. Knowledge is never final. It can be changed, it can be modified according to latest researches, according to new situations, new researches. Suppose a decade before, this Pluto was considered a planet, but now it is not in the category of planets. Means our knowledge got changed, our knowledge got modified. In the same way, few centuries back, penicillin was considered the only antibiotic, but now we have so many effective antibiotics. Now this penicillin is not the only antibiotic available in the world, means it is probationary. Third characteristic of knowledge is knowledge is doing. Knowledge helps us to do things. Knowledge helps us to become active. That is, knowledge is doing. Knowledge knowledge makes us practical. Knowledge, we can say, it makes us practical minded. That is, knowledge is doing. When we know something, we can do something. That is the characteristic feature of knowledge. So my dear students, you will remember these things, that knowledge is rational, knowledge is always probationary, it keeps on changing, except that very single form of knowledge is doing. After that, my dear students, we'll be discussing types of knowledge. Types of knowledge. So far as types are concerned, तो जो जनरल टाइप्स हैं नॉलेज के, वन इज ए priori knowledge. It is the knowledge which doesn't need any evidence to prove. It is already proved knowledge. It has universal validity. It doesn't need to be proved. जो idealists हैं, they believe on this type of knowledge. दूसरा जो है a posteriori knowledge. This is the sense-based knowledge. This is the knowledge which needs to be proved, which needs evidence, which we have to sense, which we have to practically perceive, and then we have to find out its validity, whether it is true or it is not valid. Suppose snow is white, metals transfer heat. These are the facts which need to be proved. These are not already proved things. These need to be proved. These need evidence. We have to check whether snow is really white, whether metals really transfer heat. So in a priori knowledge, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It doesn't need any evidence. This is a proved fact. It doesn't need any evidence. It is already proved. It is universal. But snow is white, metal transfers heat. It needs evidence. We have to prove it. This type of knowledge is called a posteriori knowledge. This is called a priori knowledge. Idealists believe on this type of knowledge, that knowledge already exists. It doesn't need our validation. And pragmatists, those who believe on experiments, they believe on a posteriori knowledge. They want to prove everything. They want to find out the validity of everything. These are the general types of knowledge. Then specific types of knowledge. specific types of knowledge. तो स्पेसिफिकली हम नॉलेज को जो है डिवाइड करते हैं. वन इज रैशनल नॉलेज. This is the reason based knowledge, the knowledge which we gain by applying our mind, by applying our reason, by giving reasons for proving the facts. The knowledge which we gain by giving reasons, by applying our mind, by applying reasons, that type of knowledge is called rational knowledge. Number 2, empirical knowledge. Empirical knowledge is the sense-based knowledge. It is the knowledge which we gain through our senses. It is the knowledge which we gain by experimenting. It is the knowledge which we gain through our eyes, through our ears, through smell, whatever senses we apply to gain the knowledge. The knowledge gained through our senses is called empirical knowledge. But it has the limitation that senses give us cultured knowledge. It gives us culture-based knowledge. Simply मैं आपको ऐसे समझाऊंगा. Then I will make this circle, and a layman, a village man, जब वो इसको देखेगा तो वो बोलेगा ये मक्की की रोटी है. When an American citizen, एक अमेरिका का शहरी या अमेरिका के किसी शहर में रहने वाला जब ऐसी कोई फिगर देखेगा, he will call it a disk. इसको बोलेगा ये डिस्क है, कोई और नाम देगा. Means जिस तरह के कल्चर में हम रहते हैं, वन हु डजंट नो डिस्क, जिसने कभी डिस्क जिंदगी में नहीं देखी होगी, वो इसको कभी भी डिस्क का नाम नहीं दे सकता है. वो अपने हिसाब से जो उसके कल्चर में ऐसा कोई चीज होगा वो उसको वही नाम देगा. मीन्स सेंसेस ऑलवेज गिव अस कल्चर बेस्ड नॉलेज. दिस इज इट्स लिमिटेशन. वी कांट ऑलवेज अप्लाई रीजन. वी गेट ए कल्चर बेस्ड नॉलेज थ्रू आवर सेंसेस. देन थर्ड इज, जो तीसरा टाइप है नॉलेज का, दैट इज रिवील्ड नॉलेज. Revealed knowledge is that type of knowledge which has no criticism. We can't challenge this knowledge. It is considered to be coming from the divine source. एक ऐसी नॉलेज है जो डिवाइन सोर्स से आती है, जो कुछ खास बंदे होते हैं, खास लोग जो होते हैं, उन पे रिवील होती है फ्रॉम द सुप्रीम. जिस तरह वी मुस्लिम्स बिलीव that Quran was revealed on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It has no challenge. This type of knowledge has no challenge. It is final. We have to accept it as final. ये एक knowledge है which is not based on probation. ये final होती है. Number 4, intuitive knowledge. Intuition based knowledge, we can call it. It is that type of knowledge which comes in a flash. ये आ सकते हैं किसी भी आदमी को, but it comes in a flash. हर एक को नहीं आते, किसी को भी आ सकते हैं लेकिन हर एक को नहीं आते. It comes in a flash, and this type of knowledge we call it, इसको हम उर्दू में कह सकते हैं इल्हाम. ये किसी को भी अचानक, कभी अचानक कोई ख्याल आता है जो तब तक नहीं होता है. जिस तरह हम बेंजीन का स्ट्रक्चर कहते हैं. When people were not able to find out, discover the structure of benzene, then Kiko suddenly got an idea like this. कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि उसने ख्वाब में एक सांप को देखा, उसका जो टेल था और जो माउथ था वो मिले हुए थे. And from this very fact he got the idea about the structure of benzene. So this idea came in a flash. This type of knowledge is called intuitive knowledge. कुछ लोग इसको रूहानियत का नाम देते हैं, बट आई कैन से इट कि इस तरह की जो नॉलेज है ये किसी को भी आ सकती है. ये कोई भी शख्स इस तरह की नॉलेज किसी को शख्स को भी मिल सकती है. नंबर 5, authoritative knowledge. It is that knowledge which is given by experts of a field. Suppose mathematics का कोई expert है, the great mathematician, वो कुछ नया देगा, that is authoritative knowledge. साइंस में कोई नई डिस्कवरीज करेगा, that is authoritative knowledge. जो साइंटिस्ट साइंस के बारे में, because he is authority in that very field. कोई पॉलिटिकल साइंस का कोई एक्सपर्ट होगा, वो पॉलिटिकल साइंस में कोई नई थ्योरी देगा, कुछ नया बोलेगा, दैट इज अथॉरिटेटिव नॉलेज. और जो अथॉरिटेटिव नॉलेज होते हैं, इट इज नेवर फाइनल बट इट इज कंसिडर्ड बेस्ट नॉलेज. दीज आर कंसिडर्ड बेस्ट आंसर्स. जो अथॉरिटेटिव लोग होते हैं, जो अथॉरिटी होते हैं, उनके आंसर जो होते हैं दोज आर नॉट फाइनल, दोज कैन बी चेंज, बट we call those answers as the best answer. So these are the specific types. Rational knowledge which is reason based, जहाँ हम अपना mind apply करते हैं. Empirical knowledge जहाँ हम अपने senses इस्तेमाल करते हैं, but it gives us culture based knowledge. Revealed knowledge जो divine source से आती है, कुरान शरीफ या जो बाकी मजहब में जो religious scriptures हैं, those are revealed on different prophets. Then intuitive knowledge, it is a kind of intuition, the knowledge which comes in a flash. ये किसी को भी कभी भी आ सकती है, but never comes to everyone. Authoritative knowledge, किसी भी फील्ड का, किसी अपने फील्ड में जो एक्सपर्ट होगा, जो अथॉरिटी होगी, जो उसके आंसर्स होंगे, जो वो फैक्ट्स देगा, that is considered as the authoritative knowledge. These are this knowledge, these answers are called the best answers, but these are never the final answers. Now, validity of knowledge. How we can find out that whether the knowledge is valid or it has no validity. तो जो first theory of validity है, that is self-evidence theory. Things which are self-evident, they don't need any evidence. Suppose we always find out that sun rises in the east, so it doesn't need any proof. We have already proved it. It is already proved fact. It is self-evident. So this knowledge is true. It doesn't need any other validity. Then second is correspondence theory. The facts which correspond with outside reality are considered valid. Suppose अगर मैं ऐसे बताऊंगा, Dal Lake is in Srinagar, means now I know it. Now I can prove it. I can go outside, I can find out Dal Lake in Srinagar. So it corresponds with the outside reality. If I say like this, if I say Taj Mahal is in श्रीनगर, मैं श्रीनगर के चप्पे चप्पे को छान के भी ताजमहल नहीं देख पाऊंगा, because it doesn't correspond with the outside reality. So this is the second theory, correspondence theory. The facts which correspond with the outside reality are valid, and those facts which don't correspond with the outside reality are invalid. Third is pragmatic theory. Pragmatism or instrumentalism or experimentalism, which was advocated by William James and John Dewey. They believe that things which are useful, things which are practical, things which can be used practically, those are valid. Fact is that knowledge is valid, that knowledge is true, that knowledge has validity, which is practical, which is useful, which we can practically implement in our life. That very knowledge is useful, that very knowledge is valid. So this is the validity of knowledge. Then after that we can find out the limitations of knowledge. So we can find out that जो हमने पहले रैशनल नॉलेज की बात की, तो हम कहते हैं इट इज़ द रीज़न बेस्ड नॉलेज, बट वी कैन नेवर achieve reason based knowledge without empiricism, without sensory evidence. We have to apply our senses, then we can find out reason based knowledge. In the same very manner, जो reason based knowledge है, that gives culture based knowledge. There is cultural dominance in the empirical knowledge. In the same very manner, authoritative knowledge. Sometimes authority may confuse us. We may consider authority as final, but authority may be confusing us. Authority may not be giving us the true knowledge. So this is the limitation. Intuitive knowledge, that has the limitation that intuitive knowledge cannot be given sometimes the linguistic shape. We cannot prove it, we cannot communicate it to others. Then the only true knowledge which has no validity, that is the revealed knowledge. Revealed knowledge is the final knowledge which has no modification, that is final. So this was all about epistemology. I told you that epistemology is the study of knowledge. Then I told you various characteristics of knowledge, then the sources of knowledge, the validity of knowledge, and what are the various limitations of knowledge. I hope you will enjoy this video, and I'll be coming with another video. Till then, you watch this video, subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.